Bitcoin has literally dropped as expected, guys, and also Ethereum is dropping right now. I'm going to talk about the next long trade ideas for Bitcoin and Ethereum as they are getting closer and closer to our support. Let's get right into the long and trade ideas I've got for Bitcoin, because as you can see, Bitcoin is kept on dropping. As you can see, if we put the TA, as you can see here right now, Bitcoin literally bounced from the support idea I've mentioned and gave you guys literally 24 hours ago. As you can see, if you go to the 30-minute time frame, we can see that Bitcoin literally bounced from this green area that I've mentioned in my previous video. My previous video titled Bitcoin and Ethereum will drop more before I long. As you can see, I've shared my prediction of Bitcoin creating a new low. As you can see, we had Bitcoin, I think, looking like this. I told you guys that I'm technically waiting for Bitcoin to give us a new low before looking for a new trade. As you can see, the first time we got very close to this low, however, we didn't break it, and then we got again another test. As you can see, got under the value area high, lost $110,000, hit $108,700, and then saw a great bounce from that level. However, I actually didn't take a long because it was actually at 4 a.m. my time, as you can see, Dubai time. As you can see, however, that was actually a great bounce. So let me speak about the 30-minute time frame, because I've missed the long and you maybe could have missed the long because it happened at such a late time of the day. I'm gonna be waiting for another retest of that support before getting into a long trade. However, let me give you a short idea based on that prediction. As you can see, if you go to the 15-minute time frame, we can think about shorting Bitcoin right now. As we can see, Bitcoin has literally been giving us great short opportunities for the past couple of days. I think for a whole week, Bitcoin was literally the best coin, to be honest, to short. As you can see, more than a week, to be honest, since we've put the all-time high, Bitcoin has given us such small bumps to the upside for a short opportunity. As you can see, so technically the closest area where we could either flip bullish on the small time frame or get a nice short as New York session opens, and I think 30 minutes is at $111,250. As you can see, this is the closest area. If I go to the 5-minute time frame, this is the closest area, the decisive area, where we could either see a huge rise or actually see a rejection off of that level. And then I'm thinking about taking a short, to be honest, especially as New York opens in 30 minutes. That could actually be a nice level to reject from, and then giving us a much higher drop on Bitcoin. As you can see, if I go to the 30-minute time frame, I told you guys that I missed the first long at $108,700. However, we can actually, especially because that low was made at the late time, it wasn't a New York session or London session, maybe we can think about actually taking this low once we get high. If say Bitcoin right now goes up, once New York session opens, it hits $111.25, it either can break the resistance, and then technically I could have missed the best long to be had because it was at night, or we can actually see if it fails to break that level. If we hit $111.25, $111,000.25, and then reject from it, if we do that, then maybe I'm thinking about taking a short, as that was actually what was happening continuously on Bitcoin. As you can see, that was literally the best place to keep on shorting Bitcoin, because as you can see, there's a pattern, an obvious pattern of us pumping a bit and then going down, pumping a bit and then going down. So technically, if we fail to break that level, I'm thinking about a short idea, to be honest, because as I've said, I've missed the long. So the best idea and opportunity to happen right now is for us to hit $111.25. Then if you break it and pump from that level, I'm not gonna take a long because I don't like to break or take longs at breakouts on Bitcoin. However, if we fail to break it, then I'm gonna be shorting Bitcoin, taking Bitcoin to much lower prices as New York opens, as you can see, or New York session opens, as you can see, maybe or preferably taking that low, going or hitting the daily at $108,200, or much better at 107 point, I think, for $1,000. As you can see, these levels, and then if we bounce back from that level, go back above the previous low, maybe thinking about turning it into a much better long. So technically, we've hit support already at such a late time. I missed that long, so maybe I'm thinking about taking a short, or if that doesn't happen, then obviously whoever took the short or long, sorry, at the best time is literally at huge profits right now. Let me talk about Ethereum too, because Ethereum is literally bouncing from the prediction I've mentioned also in my previous video. I don't want to keep this video too long. However, if you watched till the end in my previous video, you could have watched or seen me predicting Ethereum going down, dropping down, and then taking a long at 4300. As you can see, that was literally my prediction via the Elliott waves. As you can see, I've told you guys I'm looking for a short at 4700 from this rise, as you can see. And then I told you also I'm looking for a short at this or long at this level. So hopefully guys, you took either the short at the level or actually the long once we got into this green box or zone, as you can see. So technically, what am I waiting for on Ethereum? Basically for Ethereum, I'm thinking about watching Bitcoin closely and then taking a decision on Ethereum. I don't want to get into a trade on Ethereum before Bitcoin mix or hits this resistance, and then maybe I can see or tell if Bitcoin is going to break this resistance or give us a short. If Bitcoin is giving us a short, then I'm going to be remaining cautious on Ethereum, as you can see. Also, Ethereum could literally hit the Fibonacci retracement area at around 4500, $45.50, as you can see, and then maybe also giving us a short idea, as you can see from that level. Maybe then dropping again into the green box, as Bitcoin could do in the next few minutes. As you can see, it's maybe Bitcoin is gonna go back to the green box. If Bitcoin does, then Ethereum is probably gonna do the same thing. So if Ethereum drops again, then I'm gonna be looking also for a much better long, to be honest, again once we get into the green box, because technically I'm a bit bearish, to be honest, on Ethereum against Bitcoin. We can see that Ethereum against Bitcoin needs to break the $0.04 on, as you can see, on Ethereum against Bitcoin before flipping bullish. So technically, if we do something like that, hit this resistance and then fail to break it and go back down, then there's a huge possibility, if Bitcoin especially is dropping, then Ethereum against Bitcoin could actually drop 5 to 6%, maybe taking Ethereum to such low levels, as you can see, at 4200. So be cautious of Ethereum and Ethereum against Bitcoin until we either break $0.04 or we don't, and actually until Bitcoin breaks the $111.250. As you can see, if we don't break this level, look for a short or a small scalp short idea on this level for possibly taking this into a much better long idea. Thank you for watching, guys.